Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ramblin Deano's Coffee and a Song. It looks like my music stand that I use as a tripod has a little shimmy going on right now. So don't worry, there's not a earthquake in West Allis, Wisconsin. It's just the continued super professional gear that I that I use. Welcome, as always, and I'm going to begin the day as I often do with some commercial announcements here. Hey, so far you folks have been really generous in purchasing these tickets, quote unquote, these passes to my upcoming 6 shows to benefit different venues. It already looks like, no matter what happens on those evenings themselves, this will be a successful idea, because I've already just in a day and a half, 2 days, between posters and ticket sales, I've already got enough money to give about $200 to each of the venues, and I think it's going to get to be a lot more than that, which I'm really pleased about. It may not sound like a huge amount of money. It'll get bigger. It may not sound like a huge amount of money yet, but from my little corner of the world and with my modest popularity level, the fact that you all are so generous that I'm already at that point a week before I start the shows practically is really pleasing to me. So for those of you watching who have given, thank you very much. For those of you who might just be hearing about this, even though I babble about it and post about it constantly, I'm doing a series of live streams in the evening, all at 7 p.m. Central Time next week, to benefit 6 different music venues that have been closed due to the coronavirus. And there's a couple 3 different ways really that you can give money towards that. You can buy a really cool poster that commemorates the event, or I've arranged these silver and gold tickets, which basically amount to you spending $30 or $60, kind of thinking of it like at each gig you've thrown either $5 or $10 into the tip jar, and so all of that money for all of this goes to the venues. I'm not taking a penny. In fact, I'm eating the PayPal fees on the processing of these payments, and obviously spending a lot of time and effort putting it together. So it's not about me. It's about helping live music going forward. So there's that. Thank you for all of you who've made purchases already. You will have the opportunity, of course, to just throw money in the tip jar on the evening of those shows. And those tip jars will not be mine. They will be PayPal or Venmo accounts for the venues themselves, so it's all going to go directly to them. As I've been doing all week, I'm gonna play some protest music here for you, and I'm gonna play a couple Ramblin Deano songs, but that have been released on Ramblin Deano Records. But I'm gonna play one that I started writing last night. I worked a little bit on it this morning, and it's definitely a work in progress, but it's more current than the 2 Ramblin Deano songs that I'm going to play. Definitely inspired by the folks behind me in this backdrop here. This is randomly plucked from the New York Times. I'm not even sure what city this is. My guess is this is probably D.C. But in any case, this is happening everywhere, all over the world. And the thought continually occurs to me as all of this goes on, and I see all of the different opinions expressed by many of us in online posts and things, that this shit is complicated, and attempts by outsiders white people, namely, to simplify this into clever memes and slogans, I think fall flat for me. But the inspiration for this song was mainly looking at the police as we're all looking at them more closely these days, and what role they play in our society, and what the militarization and increase of police forces combined with the defunding of essential services for many areas has resulted in over the decades since this kind of began with Reagan. It occurs to me that the question that I started asking myself is, well, the police slogan is to serve and protect. Well, who do these people serve? They serve us, and we are the ones who indirectly created these police forces, and they are here to make our lives safer and easier. And if that's not happening, I'm questioning who exactly it is that they serve. And so with that thought process, and since I've been playing some country gospel songs as covers of late, I wrote this song kind of structured as a gospel number. It's still a work in progress. There'll probably be another verse, and I'll certainly tweak some of these lyrics, but the basic structure is here, and you'll get the idea. It's called Who Do You Serve? Who do you serve? Who do you work for? What order do you seek to maintain? Who gave you the power to turn light into darkness? What kingdom of gold stands to gain? In the old songs they sing of a but the soldiers I see are not righteous and kind. With their truncheons and shields and their poisonous gases, taking their orders from voices on high. Tell me, who do you serve? Who do you work for? What order do the power to turn light into darkness? What kingdom of gold stands to gain? As I gaze upon those beautiful masses, I can't ever know the lives they've lived, but we can work side by side. The darkness is vanquished. I will humbly offer a hand I can lend. Tell me, who do you serve? Who do you work for? What order do you seek to maintain? Who gave you the power to turn the light into darkness? What kingdom of gold stands to gain? What kingdom of gold hands to gain. There you have it. Who do you serve? A work in progress, but I'm happy with the direction that one's taken. Most of you here who've seen me live have definitely seen me perform this next number, which is but I haven't ever done it on my show, and it's a a cappella number called Racist Barber, which generally goes over pretty well when I do my live sets. I think in large part due to the fact that it's a little bit funny, and also that people really aren't accustomed at this point in history to seeing a single person sing something a cappella, so it tends to get the audience's attention. It's sort of when I feel like I'm losing people at a show, it's one that I might pull out, to try and bring the audience back in. I was thinking after I made the decision to perform this that I wrote this song about 3 years ago or so now, and boy, it seems like our understanding and perception of racial issues as white people has changed a lot since then. I know conditions haven't changed for African Americans. I'm not saying that, but I was thinking that this song actually deals with one of the recommendations that advocates for empowering Black Americans make, which is when you see racism, call it out, or take action. And in this case, even though it's framed in this humorous way, it was seriously troublesome to me that all I wanted to do was go to an old-fashioned barber shop, and I kept encountering these racist old white barbers, and so it's interesting to think about my perspective back then versus my perspective on this song, with what I've learned as I try to educate myself as to how to become a better ally. So anyway, Racist Barber. For some reason, I always do this song in F sharp, so I always strum an F sharp before I have no idea why I chose that key. I still don't know. Anyway, here it goes. Well, I am the racist barber, and I will cut your hair. I'll cut it for $5, a price that's more than fair. While you're seated in my chair, you might not like the things I say. I am the racist barber, and I'll be dead someday. I'll be dead someday. Go on and make excuses for me, that'll suit me just fine. Deep down, he's a good guy, he's just from another time. You can smile and laugh uncomfortably while I say my prayer. I'm screwing up here. You can smile and laugh uncomfortably while I apply my trade. There it is. I am the racist barber, and I'll be dead someday. I'll be dead someday. If you have deep pockets, you can go to a salon, or the retro hipster barber with the indie soundtrack on. But if you've only got $5, put your principles away. I am the racist barber, and I'll be dead someday. I'll be dead someday. All right, sorry for the screw up there. It's been a long time since I've done Ramblin Deano sets, so I just assumed that song was just burned into my memory, but of course I fumbled a line in there. But that's what you get on Coffee and a Song most every day. So yeah, the racist barber. I also got to thinking, another kind of path my mind went down was thinking about the song, and I'm gonna make my show no longer PG rated again by using the F word, but thinking about NWA's song "Fuck the Police," and I mean, it's definitely entered the conversation again, and I think about, as a white person, like my kind of flawed perception of that song when it was first released. Thinking that yes, I like I loved the rebellious nature of it. Of course, I loved the sound of it. But I think that I kind of perceived this as sort of gangsta types. Complaining about police being on them as they broke the law, but I think there's a whole lot more depth and a whole lot more resonance to that song than I gave it credit for, or at the time. And I guess growing up in this kind of suburban/rural environment that was primarily white, it just I never had any personal experiences where the police could be your enemy. I mean, nobody likes to get pulled over for speeding, but unlike African Americans, I don't have to fear that I may be assaulted or killed when that happens to me. That thought never crosses my mind. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry to babble, but since I've got 3 songs that deal directly or indirectly with race issues, I'm kind of working this out in my own mind as I go through this, as a lot of us are, and trying to be as helpful an ally as I can. This song, also off the first Ramblin Deano album, and it kind of deals with this unfortunately large subculture of white males who feel like all of this political correctness is really some sort of tyranny against them, some sort of attempt to marginalize them, which is really a twisted, perverted sentiment to have, an anger to have in your brain. But so this is called White Christian Man. It's hard to be a white Christian man, and it's I've played this places where it seems like some people in the audience don't understand that there's a sarcasm there. Trust me, there is. It's hard to be a white Christian man in these times. So hard to be a white Christian man in these times. Everything that's in color used to be black and white. Used to be black and white. It's hard to be a white Christian man in these days. So hard to be a white Christian man in these days. The news comes down the wire, it fills me with rage, it fills me with rage. It's hard to be a white Christian man in these times. So hard to be a white Christian man in these times. Yeah, where once I could grab, but now that's crossing the line, that's crossing the line. It's hard to be a white Christian man, can't you see? So hard to be a white Christian man, can't with so many options laid out before me, laid out before me. It's hard to be a white Christian man in these times. So hard to be a white Christian man in these times. Yeah, I'm sure I deserve the whole of the pie, the whole of the pie. It's hard to be a white Christian man in these times. So hard to be a white Christian man in these times. Everything that's in color used to be black and white, used to be black and white. It's hard to be a white Christian man. Thank you for allowing me to process my feelings about race and these turbulent times we're going through live in front of you. I feel like I should be laying on a couch and you're my psychoanalyst or something. Thank you as always for being here. Again, hey, let's see if we can pump up that fund for all of these great music venues that I'm trying to make sure I lend a hand in helping them move forward once we get past this pandemic. Go to my website, deanschlabowskimusic.com, which, as I always say, you can just Google Ramblin Deano and it'll be the first thing that comes up. You don't have to remember how to spell my long Polish last name. And take a look at the store. You can buy the poster for $30 and $5 will go to each of the 6 clubs. You can buy a silver ticket and $5 will go to each of the 6 clubs. You can buy a gold ticket and $10 will go to each of the clubs, or you can watch the shows live and contribute directly to their PayPals or Venmos or whatever during the shows. Again, thank you for joining me here each day. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay home if you can, stay sane, and I love you, and I will see you here tomorrow with some more protest music. Bye-bye.